So I think my house is haunted. And I'm not even really mad at the fact that it's haunted. I think I'm more so like, where were you during the inspection? Where were you during the down payment? Like, you could have helped out a little bit. I'm not afraid. When I was a little kid, I used to be horrified of scary movies. Horrified to the point where if I saw even a glimpse of something scary, I would have to go and sleep in another person's bed, and they would have to sleep closest to the door just in case something got us. Then I had time to like make my escape. But the way that I broke out of this is that when I was 12 years old, I made best friends with a person who wanted to be nothing else in the world other than a horror movie director. And so here I am, the scariest person ever, now best friends with someone who wants to direct horror films. And I remember trying to play it off and be cool one day when he comes to school all super excited. Intermission, sorry. In case you guys are wondering why I'm wearing hats, I got a horrible haircut. It's like one of the worst parts of having short hair is I feel like people are just like buzz happy because they figure, oh, your hair's short, it's fine. It's like, no, it's not fine. No, it's not fine, okay? I have muscles and tattoos. Like, I really need you to make sure that my haircut is the way that I need it to be, because I'm like a guard away from a dude. And there's nothing wrong with looking like a dude. I mean, hey, it was 2020, people are fluid. It's just not what I'm going for, you know? Like, it's very hard to balance muscles, tattoos, short hair, and still have like this air of femininity and feminine energy. And it's so quick to go. It's the jump into masculine energy with short hair is so thin. It's so thin. You add tattoos and muscles in there and you might as well be a dude. So I got a terrible haircut and I'm so sad about it because my hair was finally to the length where it was like super cute and like I was like on my fairy princess stuff. And then I'm just gonna offer a word of advice and then I'm gonna go back to my ghost story. Sorry that I just jumped off of this tangent. A word of advice to barbers out there. And I was gonna say male barbers, but I think that this is for girl barbers as well. Just because you know how to cut men hair doesn't mean that you know how to cut a woman's hair. I'm just saying, like, take a step back, check your ego a little bit. I know that it's real prideful. We want to say like, I know how to do this, but it's like, maybe you don't, and maybe it doesn't hurt to ask as you go along. Don't just assume like, oh, I got this and turn me around in the chair. I have a new rule now where you can't turn me around in the chair. Like, no, sorry, too many people, I'm damaged. I have trauma. Too many people have messed up. So you've now lost the privilege. So when you go to get your haircut at the barbershop, pretty sure it's at a salon too or whatever, they have a giant mirror in front of you. But what they like to do is they like to turn you away from the mirror and face like the rest of the shop and, and cut your hair and stuff. No, you don't get to do that anymore. Somebody screwed up in the past and now you've lost your privilege to do that. Now we have to look in the mirror and stare at each other. That's what we have to do now. Now we have to look at each other. I'm sorry, I wish it wasn't this way, but I have trust issues. So I have to be able to visualize and say, that's low enough, sir, ma'am, madam, mistress, mister. That's low enough. Please don't go any further. Yeah, give my hair a couple weeks to grow out. Because your girl's confident, but like, this will be on the internet forever. And I just don't, it's not a good look for me. And I don't want that. Horror movie story. So one day he came to school. I'll never forget this boy. His name was Cesar Perez. So Cesar, if you ever see this, just know that you were my best friend. It's so funny how we have memories that stay with us forever. And then like, somebody else might be like, I have no recollection of that event. I don't even know this girl. We can have like a life-altering event that's important to only us and no one else. All right, they're like core memories, but what's a core memory to you might not be a core memory to somebody else, even if they were a part of it. So he comes to school super excited. Oh, the worst at telling stories because my brain goes bing, 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 bing. He comes to school super excited one day. And this entire time I've been faking it. I've been like, yeah, I love the scary movies. And like going home and crying because I'm like, I'm a farce. I am a lie. 11 at the time, but I know that I am a lie. I can tell he's excited because he's got his backpack like this. Hey Caesar, what's up? He was like, I brought something and you have to watch it. And I was like, okay, all right, what is it? And he opens up his bag and he pulls out the most frightening case for a DVD that I had seen up until that point. It was for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. If you don't know what that DVD cover looks like, go ahead and just pop it into the Googs real fast. And just imagine being an 11-year-old girl who's horrified of scary movies, and this is the DVD cover that your best friend who wants to be a horror movie director pulls out of his bag. Almost shit myself a little bit. He's like, you have to watch it tonight so we can talk about it tomorrow. I was like, ooh, yeah, I'll do it. I remember racing home and I was so anxious and stressed out because I'm like, oh my God, this is big. Like, this is really, I can't even look at it. I had to like keep it covered. I pulled it out of my backpack in between two books so I didn't have to look at it. But I remember racing home so that I would have as much daylight as possible because there was no way in hell that I was gonna watch this movie at nighttime. Like, no. So we got out of school at like 2:33. I was hauling ass because I'm like, I need as much sunshine, as much of a break between daylight and nighttime as possible. Maybe I can flood my brain with other images and this doesn't have to be the last thing that I see before I go to bed. It's so interesting, little kid strategy. This was a strategy for me. If I have enough lifetime in between watching this and going to bed, maybe it won't be that bad. I remember as soon as I got home, I plopped it into the DVD player and I watched the majority of it like this. And I remember anytime the music would start to get really, really, really aggressive, I would force myself to peek through lightly because I feel like that's the parts that he was going to want to talk about the most. Up until this point, I had been frightened, but that was the first time that I had sat myself down and forced myself to watch a scary movie on my own. I'd never done it up until that point. And it unlocked something in me to where I was like, okay, I can do this. This is scary, but I'm still alive. I can do this. And so I started forcing myself after that. Once I was able to go back to school and have a conversation with him about it and be kind of excited about it in a weird way, I was like, okay, all right, we can do this. And I ended up falling in love with horror movie genre. For like 11 to 18, that's pretty much all I watched was just like horror, thriller. I was super serious. I was such a serious kid. But that's all I watched. It was like exposure therapy. How this all connects. You're like, how did you get off on this fucking tangent? Because we were talking about my ghost that's in my new house and why I'm okay with it. Partially why I'm okay with it is because I made peace during that time of exposure therapy that if I ever encountered a ghost, that I would be the type of person who would like make friends with the ghost, like we form an alliance. It would have to be a team effort because we can't just both live in misery, you know? Like, what do you need, bro? I'll help you out. You could also help me out. Maybe just like watch my cats, make sure that they're good. I always felt like I would form an alliance. I'm not horrified of the ghost. The noises that my crib was making last night were like, I could tell that the ghost was trying to make a name for itself, you know? I could tell that it was very much like, put some respect on my name, I'm gonna show you today. And it's like, okay, I get it, but like, I searched for a house for like 2 years before deciding to buy this one. So like, I'm not fucking going anywhere. So let's figure it out. Whatever you need to do, we have to schedule your time out where you're banging on shit. Like, let's align on it. We could work out a strategy. It doesn't have to be this way. So we're gonna see, we're gonna feel her out. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl yet. I don't know what they want. I don't know if it's an adult or a child, but what can you do? All right, we got a lot of stuff to do today. So we're gonna journal, then we're gonna plan out the day and get this bitch started. Do you see the struggle? Do you see why I can't have an overly masculine haircut? Like,